It began like a resurrection, a decade gone, a legacy sleeping, and a scream that refused to stay silent. When it slashed its way back onto screens in 2011, it wasn't just another sequel. It was a mirror, reflecting a world where killers didn't stalk alleys anymore. They streamed their crimes live.
Last house on the left, Friday the 13th, and...
Wes Craven returned one last time to test what horror had become in the digital age. New blood met old ghosts. Secrets leaked like scripts in the wind, and the rules of survival got rewritten all over again. So lock your doors, check your signal, and don't answer that call, because these are 20 weird facts about Scream 4. Number 1, you thought the meta-commentary of the franchise was only dialogue and winks. In Scream 4, it got physical. One of the weirdest decisions in production. The script insisted the knife blade used in one of the kills would be added in post-production via CGI, the first time the series leaned so heavily into digital effects. Director Wes Craven admitted he didn't tell the studio that this effect was happening. He joked he hoped he wouldn't get fired the next day. That gamble created a sequence where a stalked victim is stabbed in the forehead and walks a few feet while talking before finally collapsing. The stunt was inspired by a real-life case Craven had seen in a documentary, where someone survived a head wound longer than expected. The result is unsettling. We see the body convulse, bleed, keep going, an image that lingers, especially when you realize the veneer of movie logic has been stripped away. That kill isn't just violent, it's bizarre, uncanny, almost wrong in its realism, and that makes it all the more haunting. Number 2, for Hayden Panettiere, fear wasn't just a performance, it was memory. During press, she told Collider about a night she thought someone was breaking into her home. The power was out, alarms were blaring, and she barricaded herself in a bathroom, armed with 10 tasers and a panic button. She eventually climbed out the window, only to be greeted by police aiming guns with laser sights at her. "Don't shoot! It's me! It's my house!" she screamed. The story sounds like it was ripped from a Scream script, but it happened for real. That brush with danger became her accidental method acting.
Sorry, I don't know.
By the time Ghostface cornered Kirby on set, Panettiere didn't need direction. She already knew exactly how terror feels. Number 3, for Scream 4, secrecy wasn't just a policy, it was a performance. Actor Rory Culkin, who played film geek Charlie Walker, revealed that he didn't even know he was one of the killers until the day the scene was shot. Wes Craven and the studio handed out pages on a need-to-know basis, swapping in fake dialogue to keep everyone guessing. Even the killers were kept in the dark. Culkin joked that finding out mid-production was like opening a spoiler email from Wes Craven. The secrecy worked. His wide-eyed terror as he turns from ally to accomplice feels painfully real. Because it was. On a film obsessed with plot twists, even the cast became the audience, reading the horror as it happened. Number 4, when longtime collaborators such as Gale Weathers, Dewey Riley, and Sidney Prescott reunite on screen, you'd expect camaraderie. But during production, there was a deeper tension. The real-life marriage of Courtney Cox and David Arquette, Gale and Dewey, had just dissolved in late 2010 during filming of Scream 4. The professional facade remained, but the emotional undercurrent leaked into scenes of trust, betrayal, and waiting for the next scream. It's haunting to consider.
It's been a real one because it was a movie, and in real life you two'd never be.
Actors playing characters tangled in trauma while their own off-screen story carried similar weight. That quietly unsettled vibe bleeds into the film's tone, making the return trip to Woodsboro feel just a little more personal, a little more pressured, and a little more haunted than it would have otherwise.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
Number 5, Anthony Anderson didn't just die in Scream 4, he died laughing. The actor, best known for his comedy work, was completely blindsided by the moment his character meets Ghostface. In interviews, Anderson revealed he found out about his death scene only minutes before filming, when Wes Craven quietly handed him the pages. His now iconic final line, "Fuck Bruce Willis," wasn't in the original script at all. Craven asked him to improvise something that felt absurdly human, the kind of thing someone might blurt out in shock. Anderson's instinctive humor landed perfectly, turning a brutal death into one of the film's strangest punchlines. It's equal parts horror and hysteria, a final joke delivered on the knife's edge, proving that in Woodsboro, even dying can get a laugh. Number 6, picture a silent tribute tucked into the corridors of Woodsboro High. In one scene, if you look closely, there's a bust or memorial homage to Henry Winkler's former character, Principal Himbry from the original film, an Easter egg the filmmakers left for die-hard fans. According to trivia sources, Winkler is not credited for his 1996 role, but his likeness subtly appears in Scream 4 as a nod to the franchise's history. That quiet memento both honors the past and whispers, "We know you remember." It's a visual wink buried in the decor of a school hallway. Almost easy to miss, but once you spot it, the film's conversation with its own legacy becomes unmistakable. And once you've caught that detail, you begin to see how the past and present collide in every frame. Number 7, even in a franchise built on paranoia and secrecy, nothing prepared Emma Roberts for the Scream 4 moment when the killer script literally tried to escape. During a 2011 interview with Conan O'Brien, Roberts recalled a near disaster on set. One morning, she accidentally dropped her copy of the Scream 4 script in a parking lot, and the pages exploded into the air like confetti. Each page bore her name, an anti-leak measure so strict that losing it would have meant instant blame if spoilers hit the internet. She sprinted around the lot for 10 minutes, frantically chasing the last 10 pages as they blew away in the wind. In a film obsessed with secrets, even the paper wanted to run for its life. Number 8. Forget the blood and screams. Off camera. Scream 4 played out like a twisted summer camp. Filmed during the summer months, the cast stayed near each other and spent their nights going to dinner and exploring the city together. Emma Roberts called it a fun summer, while Hayden Panettiere said it felt like summer camp. Veteran stars Neve Campbell and David Arquette turned weekends into family gatherings, with barbecue nights by the lake. One evening, things got too heated. Anthony Anderson and Arquette accidentally set nearby trees on fire. It was chaos, laughter, and bonding, the calm before the cinematic storm. On screen, they ran from Ghostface. Off screen, they just tried not to burn down the town. Number 9. In most productions, actors get scripts in their inbox. On Scream 4, they got a location. According to Emma Roberts and Hayden Panettiere, cast members had to visit Wes Craven's office in person to read the full script.
Charlie, Robbie?
No digital copies, no emails, no phones allowed. Pages were watermarked with each actor's name, and no one outside that room could know who the killer was. It wasn't just a table read, it was a trust exercise with the master of suspense. As Roberts recalled, "We were terrified to even turn a page wrong." In a meta-movie about keeping secrets, the production itself became the first mystery to solve. Number 10. For Courtney Cox, Scream 4 was less a sequel and more a juggling act in chaos. In interviews, she admitted the script was constantly shifting, pages rewritten, mid-shoot, dialogue evolving daily. The first Scream was the easiest, she told Entertainment Weekly. This one, the script was never ready. Much of that turmoil came from behind-the-scenes tension between screenwriter Kevin Williamson and the Weinstein producers, leading to rewrites by Aaron Kruger. Cast members sometimes received scene changes hours before cameras rolled. That volatility bled into Cox's performance as Gale Weathers, sharp, restless, hungry for relevance. On screen, she's a reporter chasing a story she can't quite control.
Ooh. Yes, she's Daniel Radcliffe to my...
Off-screen, Cox was doing the same, life imitating art, one frantic page at a time. Number 11. Neve Campbell, the face of Sidney Prescott, nearly turned down Scream 4. After a decade away from the franchise, she hesitated to revisit a character defined by trauma and survival. In interviews, she admitted fearing the script might simply cash in on nostalgia. But once she read Kevin Williamson's meta-update about reclaiming one's story from a younger generation, she signed on. That creative risk turned into the film's emotional backbone, a survivor confronting her own legacy. Number 12. Some actors would try on the killer's Ghostface mask between takes. Hayden Panettiere refused. When asked if she ever wore Ghostface's iconic mask, her answer was immediate. "I never went near that mask." It wasn't superstition, it was survival instinct. After months of working around the suit, the voice, and the eerie choreography of every stabbing scene, Panettiere said the mask carried its own energy. Even when she wasn't filming, she kept her distance from the prop table. In a film about blurred lines between audience and killer, her refusal became poetic. On camera, she stared down the mask. Off camera, she treated it like it might blink back. Number 13. When writer Kevin Williamson returned to pen Scream 4, fans expected the same sharp meta-horror voice that reinvented the genre in 1996. But midway through filming, studio tensions reportedly grew. Williamson clashed with producer Harvey Weinstein over creative control, leading to rewrites by Scream 3's Aaron Kruger. Craven later confirmed that Kruger came in to do polishing work, but insisted the film remained mostly Kevin's script. The result is a strange dual authorship, one voice witty and self-aware, another darker and more cynical. Watching it, you can almost feel the handoff between two ghosts of tone, dueling for control of the same scream. Number 14. Kirby Reed's ambiguous fate became one of horror fandom's favorite debates. In Scream 4, she's stabbed and left bleeding, but never explicitly shown dead. That ambiguity was deliberate. Craven told press in 2011, "We never see her body. Anything's possible." For years, fans theorized that Kirby lived, creating petitions and essays arguing her survival. Over a decade later, Scream 5, 2022, confirmed it canonically. She survived the events of Scream 4. That long gestating payoff made Kirby the franchise's first cult fan resurrected character, proof that in Woodsboro, you're never truly gone until the credits say so. Number 15. By the time Scream 4 slashed its way into theaters, Woodsboro had never been bloodier. Depending on who you ask, the film's death toll lands somewhere between 11 and 14, the largest of the original 4 entries. The discrepancy lies in what counts: On-screen kills, implied deaths, or the nameless extras that Ghostface's blade doesn't bother to linger on. What's clear is that the film cranks the chaos higher than ever, turning each murder into a warped echo of earlier sequels, remade, reposted, and bloodier for a new generation. The numbers might blur, but the pattern is unmistakable. Scream 4 is a massacre of memory. Each body, another tally mark in horror's longest-running metagame. Number 16. Woodsboro may look like a sleepy slice of Northern California suburbia, but none of it was filmed there. Every tree-lined street and cozy clapboard house in Scream 4 was actually shot in and around Ann Arbor and Dearborn, Michigan, chosen for its lucrative film tax incentives. Even Woodsboro High, where Ghostface makes his bloody return, was filmed at Woodworth Middle School in Dearborn, with banners, lockers, and trophies redressed to echo the 1996 original. For returning cast members, stepping onto those halls was disorienting. Everything felt familiar, yet wrong, like walking through a dream built by strangers. The Michigan weather added its own chill. Spring shoots often looked autumnal on camera. It's a fitting irony for a film obsessed with imitation. Woodsboro itself was a remake, a perfect copy of a memory that never really existed. Number 17. Behind the smooth surface of the finished film lies a turbulent backstage. The principal photography for Scream 4 wrapped in September 2010, but after a test screening in January 2011,
That was so fucking stupid. Pure horseshit.
the filmmakers returned for additional 4 days of shooting in early 2011, making tweaks to characters and scenes. What that means at the storytelling level is this. The film you're watching carries hints of two versions that almost were. The extra shoot days weren't just patches. They were recalibrations of tone, pacing, and character arcs for the cast and crew. That meant a restart of sorts. Less like reshoots, more like fine-tuning the legacy machine. And for you, the viewer, that friction shows up in the moment-to-moment shifts between old friends and new threats, between the nostalgia of Woodsboro and the new rules of horror. Number 18. When Scream 4 opened, the numbers didn't roar. They whispered. With a budget of roughly $40 million, the film went on to gross about $97 million worldwide. A respectable sum, yes, but the lowest grossing film in the franchise at that point. For a movie designed to jumpstart a new trilogy, that underperformance cast a long shadow. Inside the production corridors, executives reportedly had envisioned Scream 4 as the first of a fresh horror resurrection. Now it felt like a dashed return. What you see on screen, the remastered kills, the social media commentary, the nods to genre fans, carries an undercurrent of second chance. But behind the cameras, the pulse of make it work was beating a little too fast. It's strange to consider that one of the most self-aware horror films was also shackled by real-world sequel expectations. Number 19. From the moment Wes Craven stepped behind the camera for this fourth installment of the Scream franchise, there was a quiet awareness among the crew. This might be the last ride. Craven, the slasher maestro whose name looms large over the genre, would in fact never direct another feature film before his death in 2015. That knowledge, the finality, infused production with a certain gravity. It wasn't just another sequel, it carried the unspoken weight of legacy and farewell. Cast and crew have since reflected on how that veneer of last one sharpened every prop, every shot, every ghost face jump cut. And so, when the credits rolled in 2011, the film didn't just sign off on Woodsboro, it closed a chapter on Craven's directorial journey. The final scene fades not only on Jill Roberts' collapse, but on the end of an era. Number 20. Even if you don't recall all the tech bits, you felt them. The ringtone, ping, the webcam, the viral clip being captured. Scream 4 isn't just the ghosts of the past returning, it's the ghosts of a new era. The film rehooks its horror to the age of Facebook, YouTube, and the desperate search for online fame. The script itself wrestles with the idea that the killer isn't just Ghostface anymore. He's Ghostface broadcasting. The characters scroll, they link, they share, and the horror watches back. In one scene, the camera framing mirrors a mobile phone screen. The kill through the lens becomes as important as the kill in the flesh. It's weird when your terror has to pass through a megapixel before you feel it, and Scream 4 embraces that. The New World horror isn't just what happens, it's what we record and repost. When the final frame faded to black and the credits rolled, Scream 4 didn't just end another chapter. It closed a loop. It was Wes Craven's last message to the genre he'd built. A warning wrapped in irony, laughter, and blood. It reminded us that killers change masks, technology changes mirrors, but fear, real fear, always finds a new way to call. So if your phone rings tonight and the voice on the other end asks, "What's your favorite scary movie?" Maybe just hang up, because in Woodsboro, the line between watching and being watched was never really disconnected.